Hello there again, friends from YouTube. On this video, we are going to learn only two things. We are going to talk about frequency adverbs and reflexive verbs. Let's see what are those. Let's start. Let's start talking about frequency adverbs. What are those things? Basically, they are words or phrases that we can use to talk about how often you do some actions. Let's see only some of them. So, here we have the 5 ones that we are going to use. They are siempre, seguido, a veces, casi nunca, nunca. What are the meanings of those? With siempre, you're going to talk about things that you do always. With seguido, you're going to talk about things that you do often. A veces, this one means sometimes. Casi nunca, it's hardly ever or almost never, and nunca, it's never. Let's repeat them again. Siempre, seguido, a veces, casi nunca, nunca. Let's see some examples about how to use them. With these ones, we can talk about routine. We can use them with simple present, and most of the times, they go before the verb. Here, in the picture, you can see the first example. Yo siempre tomo agua y siempre desayuno a las 7 a.m. Let's use seguido. Yo seguido veo televisión y ceno leche. Let's see the other one. Yo a veces tomo café y como pan. Let's use casi nunca. Yo casi nunca escucho la radio. And the last one. Yo nunca tomo refresco. Let's see a bit about the structure. Before the verb, we can use any of those frequency adverbs. We can use siempre, we can use seguido, a veces, casi nunca, or nunca. So, with water, yo siempre tomo agua. About café, a veces. Yo a veces tomo café. What about you? This is the question. ¿Qué tan seguido? This question literally means how often. So I can ask you this. ¿Qué tan seguido tomas café? And then you can reply me using any of those frequency adverbs. Yo a veces tomo café. That's with my own information. That is the way we use frequency adverbs with sentences. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about you or about some other people, they are always going to be placed before the verb. Let's use some other person. Ana. So she is Ana. Ella is Ana. Let's talk a bit about Ana. Ella a veces toma refresco y nunca ve televisión. Now, let's see Andrés. Él seguido escucha podcasts y a veces va al gimnasio. Now nosotros, Andrés y yo, nosotros nunca tomamos refresco. Was it clear? Then, let's continue with reflexive verbs. I'm sure you remember what is a verb, but just in case, let's remember what is that. A verb is a word that we can use to talk about actions like comer, vivir, tomar, viajar, etc. And normally we do actions on objects like yo como frutas, tú tomas café, él toma cerveza, tú no comes carne, yo escucho música, nosotros vemos televisión, and along etc. But there are some other moments when you want to talk about actions that you do on yourself, or in my case, on myself. On those cases, I'm not going to do the action on some other object. I'm going to do the action on me. That's why they are called reflexive verbs. And we're going to check how they work. But before, let's see how a non-reflexive verb works. We have here one action. Yo veo televisión. I'm the subject. I'm doing the action, and I'm doing the action on an object. What is my object in this case? Televisión. Here we have tomar. and this one means to drink, in this case, and this is the non-conjugated form, is the infinitive form. If we want to conjugate it, we need a person who's doing the action. So let's remember the pronouns. If I have yo, I say yo tomo, tú tomas, él o ella toma, nosotros tomamos, ustedes toman, ellos, ellas toman. When we conjugate this verb, we change the verb according to the person. Yo tomo. And it doesn't matter if I get rid of the pronoun because on the conjugation is the person. I can say tomo and it's totally correct. Or if I say Thomas, I know I'm talking about you because the second person is implied on that conjugation. Let's see some more example. If we have verbo comer, I can say como. And I know that I'm talking about me because the first person is implied on that conjugation. Yo como. Como. Or tú comes. Comes. The second person is implied there. So let's use these two verbs. Yo tomo café. Yo como carne. On the first sentence, yo tomo café. Café is my object. On the second sentence, yo como carne. Carne is my object. Let's see how the reflexive ones work and let's compare them. As I said before, with reflexive verbs, I'm in my own object. Here we have one reflexive verb, bañarse. This one means to take a shower. And when you take a shower, you do the action on yourself. And this is the non-conjugated form. Maybe you have noticed that this one is having something new. Let's see what is that. Let's conjugate this verb. Talking about conjugation, we're going to do exactly the same thing as with the other ones. We're going to get rid of the AR part and we are going to add depending on the person. But we are going to do something else with that C part. Let's check the first conjugation of verbo bañarse. Yo me baño. I'm conjugating this verb exactly the same way as the other AR ending verbs, but we have a new thing here. Me. Me is saying that I am the object of that action, and I'm doing the action me. Yo me baño. That C part is going to be placed before the verb. Now let's see the second one. Tú te bañas. Él se baña. Ella se baña. Nosotros nos bañamos. Ustedes se bañan. And ellos se bañan. This is the way to conjugate our reflexive verb. As I said, we are doing exactly the same thing when we are conjugating. The only new thing that we are adding is this last part. But remember, it goes before the verb, at least in present simple. Let's make a comparison. Let's take our first sentence. Yo me baño. I'm literally saying I take a shower. But in Spanish, you need to use that word because if you don't use it, you need another object. Let's compare them. We can either say bañarse or bañar, but the meaning is going to be different. Those two are the infinitive forms because they are not being done by no one. Let's conjugate both using only the first person, yo. We have yo me baño. Here I'm saying I take a shower. Then yo baño. That sentence is non-complete. What I'm showing. Let's complete it. Yo baño al perro. Now it's a complete sentence, but I'm not doing the action on me. I'm doing it on the dog. Can you see the difference? Let's use what we learned before on this video. We're going to mix frequency adverbs with reflexive verbs and with other verbs that you already know. Let's make some sentences. Siempre me baño a las 6:30 y seguido desayuno a las 7. A veces desayuno huevo y a veces desayuno pan y leche. There, I was talking about my routine, about how often I do some things after waking up. Did you see how the frequency adverbs are working together with verbs? Try to practice a bit trying to use those verbs and those frequency adverbs with your own information. For today, and about reflexive verbs and frequency adverbs, that was all. As always, don't forget to leave a comment if you have something to say or a question, and don't forget to give us a like and to subscribe. See you on the next video. Adios.